Okay, today I'm going to show you how to make any kind of dal with only 5-minute prep. Let's get into it. Okay, let's get into it. So we're going to start off with these whole mung beans. Now, they're the green ones. You can get black ones too, but you can use any sort of dal for this entire recipe. So I'm going to pour out 1 cup and pour that into the bowl. Now, I'm going to wash and rinse this 3 to 4 times. And basically, we don't want the stomach bacteria, so you're going to do it properly. Now, when you're washing it, please don't do this. This is not a right technique. There's no reason to be that aggressive with the dal. That's how you want to do it, you see? Just like a little thing motion. Now, after you wash it, you're going to let that soak overnight. Overnight is preferable, okay, because they're whole mung beans, okay, so they take a bit longer to soak, so you can do it the night before. That's what I did. That's why it looks brighter right now. So I'm going to chop up 1 whole onion. That's a large white onion, and put that to the side because it destroys my eyeballs. Same thing with this tomato. I'm going to remove the booty hole out of the tomato and then cut this tomato into segments. So about 6 pieces for this entire tomato. Now, once I've done that, I'm just going to put it all on a plate and put this to the side, and that is all the prep work done. I was not lying when I said 5 minutes. Super easy. So, pan on heat. Look how much the dal has inflated, by the way. That's why you don't need a lot, okay? Because it's been soaking overnight. It's inflated, doubled in size. Gains, man. So, put the dal in there, and I went in with 1.5 liters of boiling water initially. Then we're going to crank up the heat a bit, and we are going to put in 2 tablespoons of ghee, followed by the onion and the tomato that we cut. Do it accurately and not bog-eyed like I just dropped it. And then we're going to go in the spices. 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1.5 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of red chili flakes. Throw all of that in there with a large pinch of salt, and then we're going to mix this through. Now we're going to try and bring this back up to heat, obviously. And when it's like this, you're going to remember to put the garlic and ginger block in, because I forgot to do that. So you're going to stir this through, and basically, let me show you what the heat temperature I've got it on. It's like a medium-high heat. This is the heat temperature in this picture right now, and then you want to simmer this on medium-high heat for 35 minutes. Make sure you come back to it, tend to it, stir it, make sure you don't stick to the bottom. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to prep the final bits for the tadka, also known as the tempered spices, as well as the garnish. Now, if you don't know what the tempered spices are, it's basically added to the dal at the end when the dal is done to give an extra layer of flavor. I will show you obviously later on in the video, but to do that, we just need a bunch of garlic. So we're going to slice the garlic. Keep the garlic whole, please. Okay, we want the aesthetic, nice circles. We don't want it crushed and these little bits minced. We want slices like that. So once we've done that, we're going to chop up a bullet chili and then also a bunch of fresh coriander. And that is definitely all of the prep done. We're not doing any more. Okay, we're going to come back to the dal after 35 minutes. I'm going to stir it through. And at this stage, I realized that the dal is done, but I can also see some bits of onion and things in there, which I want it to disintegrate. Why? Because I'm a texture person, and when I'm having dal and an onion flipping pokes the back of my throat, it ain't very nice, man. So to disintegrate the onions, I'm basically going to let this simmer for another 10 minutes, but I use my eyeballs and I can see if I let that simmer for another 10 minutes on that heat, it's going to dry out. We don't want that, so I put in extra 300 ml of water and let that simmer for a further 10 minutes. Now, this is a secret between you and me, don't tell anyone. Can you see the technique I'm doing there? I'm using the side of the spatula to crush the dal to help with the thickening of the consistency. That makes sense? Okay, don't tell anyone that secret, just between you and me. So basically, if you don't want to do that, you can just use a masher. Okay, entirely up to you. Then I went in with 1/2 teaspoon to 3/4 teaspoon of garam masala, mix that through, and we're almost like a minute away from it all being the perfect consistency. So I'm just continue stirring this through, cook that for a further 2 minutes. And you know you're going to be at the right consistency because can you see them hollow bubbles that are forming? Can you see? Plop, 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 plop. Them are the hollow bubbles that we want. That indicates to me that it's not super runny and it's not super dry. It's perfect consistency. Now at that stage though, it is going to spit at you. So you can use that sieve. It's a link in the description. It's very good. It protects you from injury and any further emotional damage that happens after that. So once you've done that, you're going to put the dal to the side and we're going to get started on the tadka, the tempered spices. So I'm going to put this pan on heat, 1 tablespoon of ghee, a pinch of cumin seeds, and some Kashmiri red dried chilies. Stir that for 30 seconds and then we're going to go in with all that garlic. Cook this. Now, keep an eyeball on it, man. Well, both eyeballs might help, but keep your eyes on it because they're going to get golden very quick. Once they are golden like this, I'm going to slowly bring the dal over with one hand, carefully like this, and then put the tempered spices or the tadka straight into the dal, and then finally finish it off with a bunch of fresh chopped coriander. I'm going to mix that through. I'm also going to put this back on heat. You'll see it, you see steam there. It's back on heat basically for 2 minutes. Stir that through, top it off with fresh coriander and then some bullet chilies, and this final product. Okay, now that the dish is done, I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks on how to make this entire thing perfect. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is water. Now when I put water into this dish, I put in 1.5 liters and then I added another cup in later on, which is about 300 ml-ish. The reason why I did that is because I used my eyeballs. God gave me eyeballs for a reason. I used them. Basically, it was drying up. It was at the 35-minute mark. The lentils were done, but I wanted the onions to disintegrate a bit more. So I added another bit of water and I just cooked that for another 10 to 15 minutes until it was all done. And the amount of water that you put in is going to fully depend on the type of dal that you use, which leads me on to my second point. You can actually use any type of dal. The blueprint of what I've used, where you put in the dal, which is soaked and washed, as well as putting in the spices, the garlic and ginger block, doing all of that. In that order, you can make any sort of dal. But here's the thing. Certain dal will take longer to cook. But one of the best things that you can do is soak them overnight if they are whole lentils. Split lentils you can soak for about 2 to 3 to 4 hours. It's fine. But you need to wash them 3 to 4 times first. And then you can soak them. Because if you don't wash them properly, you can get stomach bacteria, man. But yes, if you follow the blueprint in this video, you can make any type of dal. Just swap out the dal and then just add the same spices and stuff later on. But I will tell you how to make tarka dal in a couple of minutes. So the third thing is I use a garlic and ginger block. So in this case, if you don't have a garlic and ginger block, you can always use fresh, which will be about 5 to 6 garlic cloves, crush them, and then about that big piece of ginger. Put it in a pestle and mortar, crush it as well. I don't need to chop it, crush them. But garlic and ginger block is always a good investment. Now the fourth thing I want to talk to you about is safety. Now I'm not just saying this because this is a link below and if you buy it, I get commission. Affiliate link. But basically it is actually very good. Towards the end, when that dal starts thickening up, it will spit at you, man. It gets aggressive. A splatter guard is always a good shout. You can just slap that on. Very helpful. And when you get them splatters on you, you will then say, do you know what? I'm going to get a splatter guard right now. I should have listened to Imran. I'm just saying. The fifth point I want to talk to you about is how to make tarka dal. I know a lot of you will be waiting for it. So tarka dal, very easy. All you're going to do is use red split lentils. You're going to wash it 3 to 4 times and then soak it for about a couple of hours. That should be enough. You can do it overnight if you want. It'll cook quicker. So once you do that, you're going to put it in the pan with 1.5 liters of water boiling. Then you're going to put in, and I'm going to list this for you right now, 2 heaped tablespoons of ghee. And they're going to go in with 3 bay leaves. Throw that in. Garlic and ginger block, plenty of salt, and then 1 teaspoon of turmeric. You don't need any other spices. Not even towards the end, no garam masala, nothing. Just 1 teaspoon of turmeric. And then the sliced onion like we do. We don't need tomato, just the onion. Put that all in, mix it through, and let it simmer for about half an hour. And about half an hour, it should be done. Even less, sometimes 25 minutes. Now, what I mean by done, that the lentils are going to be done, but there might still be some whole pieces of onion in there. I don't personally like that, so I cook it a bit longer until the onions disintegrate. You don't have to. You can do it in 25 minutes. If that thickens up, then it thickens up. And if you don't mind the onions, then you can keep it. And then obviously towards the end, put the tarka in. Don't forget the tarka is going to add plenty of flavor and obviously the fresh coriander. A lot of the taste from this dish and the flavor from this dish comes from fresh ingredients, man. And the final point I want to make to you is, yes, you can mix dal if you want. So you can use different types of lentils, combination. I like, for my tarka dal, which is actually very good, is using a chana dal mix with red split lentils. But there's actually dishes like dal buna or dal makhani, which takes a different approach to making it. You can't make it like this. It's a different way of making it. This recipe that I'm showing you, you can make any type of dal, yes. But specific ones like dal makhani that have been done traditionally in a certain way, you don't do it like this. But if you did want me to make that, I can always make it for you. Anyways, guys, that is the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And if there's anything else that you want me to make, well, first subscribe in it. Then let me know. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, and the final point I want to make is, I can't remember, man.